Hello there, welcome back to Literary Cleveland's YouTube channel. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Naomi and I am one of Literary Cleveland's spring interns this year, and for my proposed project I proposed a video series, and this video is part of that video series and actually the last one. So for my final video in this series today, I wanted to talk about some tips, tricks, equipment, and things that you would need to start a Bookstagram or Booktube channel. So if you don't know me outside of Literary Cleveland as an intern, I run my own Bookstagram, which is called Naomi's Library, as well as a Booktube channel, and I've been on Bookstagram for almost 3 years now and on Booktube for 2 years. And if you don't know what those things are, basically Bookstagram is a blog of photos, Instagram reels, stories, and all of that are all about books, and then a Booktube channel is just a YouTube channel where you talk all about books. So I actually started my Bookstagram account, Naomi's Library, about 3 years ago, like I mentioned, and I actually started it to document my reading process and this readathon that was happening. Also, if you don't know what a readathon is, it's basically like a little event, sometimes a week, sometimes a month long, where people give prompts and you just follow the prompts and read as much as you can. So I started my Bookstagram in order to document my reading process during that readathon, and then from that it just grew out of proportion. So I'll insert kind of like a screen recording of my Bookstagram and what it looks like. But if you want to start your own Bookstagram, here are a couple tips, tricks, equipment, and all of that you'll need, and then I'll move on to Booktube. And for Bookstagram and Booktube, there are a lot of equipment and things that you can use for both, but there are separate things for each one. So for my Bookstagram, obviously it's an Instagram account, so you need to post pictures. So basically you will need a camera. I use my phone, and I also have a DSLR camera, which is the Canon EOS Rebel T5, and then I also have the camera that I'm using right now to record, which is the Canon G7X, and I'll put a picture on the screen. I will say that out of all of these, I think the best would be like the phone to take pictures, and also the camera that I'm currently recording on, because this camera, if you are thinking of also doing a YouTube channel, this is the camera that I use for almost everything. So yeah. Other equipment that you will need for a Bookstagram account would be some editing apps. So I personally use Lightroom, which I pay for, but you definitely don't have to pay for an editing app. There's a whole bunch of different free ones. There's Visco, and I know that my friends use free editing apps that you can find online. And along with the editing app, you can also buy or look up presets. And if you don't know what a preset is basically, it's a formula of settings like the exposure and the shadows and the whites and the balance and all of that makes your picture look a certain way. So you can make your pictures look like it's golden hour, or you can make your pictures look like they're film. It depends all in what kind of theme you are looking to do on your Bookstagram. So I personally use a preset that I bought on Etsy, I believe, and this one is very orangey. It's very bright. It kind of looks like golden hour, but not really, and that's the one that I use for all of my pictures. I do tweak it every now and then because some of my pictures have a lot more light, some others are darker, so yeah, that's what I use. But also for these presets, you definitely don't have to buy a preset pack. You can always go on Pinterest or just even Google and just Google Visco presets, and you can find pictures and it'll tell you the formula and at what number you need to have every setting, and you can do it on your own. So let's talk about some tips and tricks. So first off, something that I've learned over time is to use hashtags. So I have a set of hashtags that I just copy and paste for each picture now. I do add every now and then different ones, so depending on the picture, if there's a certain book featured, I will hashtag the book or the author or the publishing company, also tagging publishing companies for the book that are on the picture. It's really good to get you noticed. But yeah, usually I just use hashtags like book community, Booktube, you, stuff like that. And you can always go on my Instagram and I put it on the comments of every single picture, so if you wanted to just copy and paste that, you can. Another tip that I've learned is to use natural lighting. So I will talk later more about this ring light that I'm currently using, but I usually just use my ring light for when I am filming videos. Usually when I take pictures, the best lighting is just natural lighting. And there are days that I really want to take a picture but it's super gloomy out, and I just tell myself like, let's just not do it, because it's sometimes a waste of time for me to take pictures when it's really gloomy out, because they just don't come out the way that I want them to. So that is a really important tip. Just natural lighting for your pictures is the best. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier with the preset packs and all of that, but you need to have a theme. Or you don't need to, but it does look nice on the feed. Like I mentioned, I personally use this one preset that I use for every single picture, so it makes all of my pictures look cohesive as well over time. I don't know why I started doing this, but it's just what I like the best on my feed. So again, I'll put a picture on the screen, but as you can see on my feed, there will always be like a flat lay and then a picture of me in it, flat lay, picture of me, like so. So there's kind of like a theme in that way. Next up, this one is a little harder, and I've been learning a lot myself recently because this is very new. But recently Instagram has been pushing more accounts that post more Instagram reels, and this has been really hard for me because I'm not the best at them, I would say. But yeah, one tip is that if you want to be noticed in the Bookstagram community, Instagram has been pushing a lot of accounts that post a lot of reels. So I've been trying to post reels more often, but honestly Instagram reels is a whole video on its own that I don't have time right now to go really in depth of everything that goes into Instagram reels. But I will recommend to go over to this account. These are my friends and they're the Roomies Digest, and they post the most amazing reels. They post a lot of reels, so you can always find inspiration or ideas from there. My next tip would be to make a schedule. I personally have been posting Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for a long time. I usually always try to post in the morning at around 8 a.m. A trick that I also have learned is that when you go on your Instagram, you have the option of posting a actual post, story, or going live. And when you hit the little live thing, you don't actually have to go live, but you can see how many people are currently active on Instagram. So sometimes when the number is very, very low, I don't post, and then I wait until more people are active currently on Instagram, so my posts do better. Another tip is to always find inspiration in everything. I tend to browse a lot on the search, or just find little things in my home that give me inspiration for photos, because there's a lot of times where you kind of have like an inspiration block moment. There's a word for that I'm not thinking about right now. But you can find inspiration in everything, whether that's a location or searching on your For You page and a lot of different things. Just always try to find inspiration in many different things for pictures. And a question that was actually asked over on our Instagram about this topic was how to stand out. I guess how to find your niche. So how to stand out? In my opinion, you know, it's really hard because there's so many content creators now. A lot of my friends have different niches, I guess. Like my friend Jan on Bookstagram, her theme and her aesthetic is very dark, or like vampires, bats, stuff like that, and that's what she likes personally, so that's what her theme is. Like I mentioned, the Roomies Digest, also the way that they stand out, a lot of people in the community know them from their reels. And I would say personally, a lot of people know me because of my fashion. I don't think I have like the best fashion really, but I tend to take a lot of pictures or talk a lot about clothes, so I tend to match my books to my outfit. So that's something that a lot of people in the community kind of know me for. So that's my specific way that I try to stand out in the community. But there's a lot of different things. I would say other hobbies and things that you enjoy doing, try to tie them into reading or writing or anything about the community. Alright, so now I want to talk about Booktube. So I actually joined Booktube a year after starting my Bookstagram account. I felt like I wanted just to talk more and show more about my life, and Through Bookstagram, you can do that through pictures, but for me, I just wanted to do a little bit more and get more creative, so that's when I started my Booktube channel. And let's talk about some equipment. So again, I started, where is my phone? I actually started filming my videos, like vlogs and stuff like that, on my phone. So if you have like a smartphone, you can totally start there. And then I also try to film some videos on my DSLR, but I definitely don't recommend doing that if the screen doesn't flip open, because this was a struggle because my camera has a setting that it stops recording after a certain amount of time. And I would just be talking and talking in this video and then notice that it cut out like 20 minutes ago or so. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have the flip screen. But this is the camera that I have, and usually I just use this for pictures. I don't use this for filming anymore. And the last camera that I have is the one that I'm recording on right now that I also mentioned over on the Bookstagram section. So it is the Canon G7X, and definitely out of both cameras that I mentioned, I would definitely recommend buying this one. I take pictures, I record all of my videos on this, and it is so easy and simple. This one has a little flip camera, so I don't know, maybe you've noticed that I'm looking more at myself than the actual lens. But yeah, it has a little lens so you can see what you're doing, you can see how long you've been recording for, and all of that, so it really helps. Another thing that I will mention is a ring light. So currently I have a ring light on. I'm gonna turn it off for 2 seconds so you can see the difference. So I have a ring light. I can't really show it to you because I'm currently filming. But yeah, a ring light definitely works because this little setup that I have on my bookshelf and all of that, this area of my room tends to be a little darker, and I would love to film with natural lighting, but the area where it has a little bit of natural lighting, because my room is very dark, it doesn't have like a really nice backdrop, and this is really what I wanted to be sitting in front of my bookshelves. So yeah, a ring light works depending on where you want to film, but if you're very lucky to have natural lighting right in front of the spot that you want to film, then that's great. Last but not least, one of the other equipment things that you will need is an editing software. So I personally use Wondershare Filmora 9, and this one is super easy to use. I am definitely not like an editor, and I've learned how to use it, and it's really simple to use. I will say I don't have a Mac, but a lot of my friends edit on their iMovie or their Final Cut Pro. The only editing software that has ever really worked for me is the one that I use now, which is Wondershare Filmora 9, but I do pay for this. I pay, I think it's like $70 or $80 a year for it, so it's a pretty good deal for me because I film and edit so much. But yeah, I know that it's not very affordable for everybody, so if you do have a Mac, iMovie works, or Final Cut Pro, but I'm sure that there's definitely a lot of different editing softwares that are a lot cheaper. This one, I just wanted to pay a little bit more because it's easier to use for me. And again, there could be a whole different video just on editing videos alone, and I don't have the time to talk about all of that today. You definitely can find on YouTube some tutorials on editing, and you can even type in the specific editing software that you're using, and you can find really basic tutorials to learn how to do all of that. So lastly on this section, I want to talk about some tips and tricks for Booktube. So first off, again, make a schedule. Obviously you can't post on Booktube as much as you can post on Bookstagram, because Bookstagrams are pictures and they're a lot easier to take and edit, but videos take a long time to film, a long time to edit and upload and all of that. So I would say make a schedule and try to keep consistent. I currently try to upload once a week, so that's 4 videos a month, and my schedule, I think I post every Thursday. I can't even remember, but yeah, I do post once a week, but it doesn't always happen that way. And if you don't even know where to start, I will say some easy video ideas would be kind of talking about your favorite books of all time, and that kind of shows people what you like and what your reading tastes are like, because personally on my channel I talk a lot about young adult novels and fantasy and historical fiction, but there are so many booktubers out there that have like so many different reading tastes that only like reading horror or only like reading high fantasy. For me, I'm a lot more open to different genres, but definitely your booktube channel could be just all about one certain genre that you enjoy reading. Again, how to stand out / your niche is very, very similar to Bookstagram. You just have to find something that you enjoy doing in your everyday life, like maybe baking or like your fashion or just your aesthetic, things that you just enjoy in everyday life, and try to tie them into your videos or your reading or just books in general. I think that would be a way that you can stand out. When it comes to filming, it can be super intimidating. My videos when I first started on Booktube do not look anything like they do now. It takes a while to get comfortable talking to a camera for a long time. I'm definitely not comfortable yet vlogging or taking my camera and doing this in public. Definitely in the comfort from my room, I'm a lot more comfortable, obviously, but it does take a little bit of time. Also, I know that some of my friends script their videos, so it gives them more of a better outline of what they want to say, because sometimes you sit down and you talk a whole bunch, and then when you finish filming, you're like, I should have mentioned that. So I know that a lot of my friends find useful to do kind of like an outline or a script of what they want to say. I personally don't do that, but maybe I should start to. Also, when it comes to filming, there is a difference between sitting down, like a sit down video, versus a vlog. So this would be deemed as a sit down video where you sit in front of the camera, you're sitting down and you're talking about a certain book, whether you're talking about the books that you want to read this month or the books that you bought recently, or giving tips and tricks on how to start your own booktube channel. This would be deemed as a sit down video, which is better if you want to script it. But then there's also vlogs. So I personally, on my channel, I've been doing a lot of vlogs recently, and basically a vlog is just like every other vlog like on YouTube, but you would talk about your reading and what you do during your day, like whether you're going to the gym or you're gonna go out to eat or you're going to a special event, and talk about your reading throughout. So vlogs, I found that I love filming a little bit more because it's more natural and organic. But yeah, there is a difference between those two type of videos. Next up, I want to talk, I feel like I've been talking for so long and I could talk even more about all of these different things. But next up, I have thumbnails. So I personally make all of my thumbnails on Canva. I do have Canva Pro that I pay for, but you definitely do not have to. Canva is super, super easy to make thumbnails on because they have templates already that you can just insert your pictures, or you can insert the text that what you want it to say, and that's like the easiest way that you can ever make thumbnails for your YouTube videos. It's Canva. I also personally use Photoshop just to, I'll show an example here, but I usually try to do an outline around myself. I've stopped doing it, like depending on the videos. I don't always do it, but I have been using Photoshop for that, and then all of my thumbnails on my YouTube channel are made through Canva. And like I said, you definitely don't need Canva Pro in order to make thumbnails on Canva. And once you film, once you have your thumbnail and everything, uploading and sharing. So uploading, like I said, that could be a whole separate video, but when you upload on YouTube, you have to find a right time, and that will come as you upload more. Your analytics on YouTube, it'll give you a better idea of when to post and when your audience is more engaged and at what time you should be posting more, and that will come as you upload more. You'll see what gets the better views for you, or what times work better for a video and stuff like that. As you upload more, you'll learn more about your audience. And then after you upload, you definitely have to share it over on Twitter or Instagram, just to kind of tell people to go over and watch the video. And I have two last tips. So first of all, be yourself. People will most likely just come back for you and your personality, and the things that you have to offer. So I will definitely say just be yourself. This was really hard for me at the beginning because I didn't really know how to show my personality through videos. So again, over time you will be more comfortable making videos and all of that. But yeah, definitely be yourself. And last but not least, make friends. I think when I started my Bookstagram, I found it really hard to make friends because it's just an Instagram account and you can always DM people and so. But when I started my Booktube is when I started making really good friends online. Because obviously you can kind of show a little bit more of your personality through a video and other people are watching, and then you watch other people's videos and you get to know them better. So definitely try to make friends. It's really important. It's most rewarding things that I've gained from this experience starting my own Booktube channel. I've made friends in Chicago and New Jersey and LA that I've never met in, well, some of them I've never met in person. But yeah, I would say that's the most rewarding part about making my Booktube channel, is the friends that I've made along the way. Alright, that is it. I feel like I've just been talking way too much, but I hope that you find any tips or tricks. Let me know if you start your own Bookstagram or Booktube channel. You can always DM me over on my Instagram and just let me know and send me your account and I will definitely follow you. Alright, well, we hope that you enjoyed this video. Let us know if you start your own YouTube channel. Comment down below and we'll go over and subscribe to you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and we will see you next time. Bye!